Have you ever noticed something surprising? Two people can be the exact same age, live in the same neighborhood, and even share similar life experiences, yet their bodies tell completely different stories. One 75-year-old walks confidently through the park every morning, climbs stairs without thinking twice, carries groceries with ease, and enjoys life with energy. Meanwhile, another person of the same age struggles to get out of a chair, avoids walking long distances, fears falling, and feels trapped by their own body. Why does this happen? Is it genetics? Is it luck? Or is there something much deeper at work? We've all seen it in our own families. Maybe your grandfather remained active well into his 80s, while someone else began struggling in their 60s. Perhaps you've watched an older neighbor move with remarkable freedom, while another slowly lost their independence. The truth is both inspiring and uncomfortable. The difference is rarely age alone. Growing older does change the body, but age itself isn't what steals movement. What truly matters are the habits, choices, and routines repeated over decades. Because mobility isn't lost overnight. It's built or broken little by little, year after year. Every walk taken or skipped, every hour spent sitting, every meal chosen, every decision to keep moving or stay still. And here's the most important part. No matter your age, your body is always listening to what you do today. Your future mobility is being shaped right now. In this video, we'll uncover the 6 biggest reasons why some older adults continue moving with strength and confidence, while others struggle with everyday tasks. If you want to protect your independence, your energy, and your quality of life for years to come, stay with us until the end, because one of these habits could completely change the way you age. Before we begin, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss content designed to help you live a stronger, healthier, and more fulfilling life. Let's begin. 1. They never stop moving. The human body follows one of the most unforgiving rules in nature: use it or lose it. That may sound harsh, but it explains why some older adults continue to move with confidence while others slowly lose their independence. The truth is, mobility isn't usually lost in one dramatic moment. It disappears quietly. One skipped walk becomes a habit. One elevator ride replaces the stairs. One afternoon spent sitting turns into weeks, then months, then years. And before a person realizes it, simple tasks that once felt effortless begin to feel exhausting. Standing up from a chair, reaching for something on a shelf, walking to the mailbox, getting out of bed in the morning. Many people believe that growing older means slowing down, so they tell themselves, "I should rest more." Of course, rest is important, but too much rest can become a hidden enemy, because the less you move, the weaker your muscles become. The weaker your muscles become, the harder movement feels. And the harder movement feels, the less you want to move. It's a cycle that traps millions of older adults. Think about someone you know. Maybe it's a parent, a grandparent, a neighbor, or even yourself. Have you ever noticed how quickly life can shrink when movement disappears? First, they stop taking long walks. Then they stop going out as often. Then they avoid social gatherings because getting there feels like too much effort. Eventually, they begin arranging their entire life around what their body can no longer do. And that's the heartbreaking truth. When mobility declines, it's not just movement that's lost. It's freedom, it's confidence, it's spontaneity. It's the ability to say, "Yes, I'll come with you." The older adults who move easily understand something powerful. They don't wait until they feel like being active. They build movement into everyday life. They walk while talking on the phone. They garden. They clean the house. They stretch while watching television. They play with their grandchildren. They choose the stairs instead of the elevator. They don't treat movement like a chore or a workout. They treat it as a way of living, because every step sends a message to the body. Don't shut down. Don't weaken. Stay strong. Stay capable. And the body listens. You don't need to run marathons or spend hours in a gym to protect your mobility. You simply need to keep showing your body that it's still needed, because the day we stop moving is the day our world starts becoming smaller. But every walk, every stretch, every extra step is an investment in something priceless. the ability to keep living life on your own terms. 2. They protect their muscle strength. When most people think about aging, they think about gray hair, wrinkles, or reading glasses. But those aren't the changes that take away a person's independence. The real threat often goes unnoticed. It's happening silently, year after year beneath the surface. It's called muscle loss. And for many people, it begins earlier than they realize. After the age of 30, we naturally start losing muscle mass. Slowly at first, almost invisibly. Then, as the years pass, the process accelerates. Without action, the body starts giving away strength little by little until one day, ordinary tasks no longer feel ordinary. Getting out of a chair becomes difficult. Carrying groceries feels heavy. Climbing stairs leaves you breathless. Standing for long periods becomes exhausting. And what makes this so dangerous is that muscle loss doesn't announce itself. It whispers, until suddenly, it starts controlling your life. Because weak muscles don't just affect how you look, they affect how you live. They determine your balance when you stumble, your stability when you walk, your posture when you stand, your confidence when you leave the house. Think about this for a moment. Every time an older adult struggles to stand up from a couch without using their hands, their body is sending a message. Every time they avoid carrying a grandchild because they're afraid of dropping them. Every time they hesitate before climbing stairs. Every time they say, "You do it for me." That's not just weakness. That's independence slipping away. Strong legs mean you can rise from a chair without effort. Strong hips mean you can walk confidently without fear of falling. A strong core protects your spine and helps you maintain balance. Strong arms mean you can carry groceries, lift luggage, open heavy doors, and hold the hand of someone you love. The older adults who continue moving with ease understand a truth that many people discover too late. Strength is not about looking powerful. Strength is about staying free. It's about being able to live in your own home, drive your own car, travel when you want, play with your grandchildren, and keep saying yes to life. The good news is that it doesn't take extreme workouts to protect your muscles. Simple bodyweight exercises, resistance bands, light weights, chair exercises, a few minutes of consistent effort each day can change the trajectory of your future. Because every squat is more than an exercise. It's practice for standing up on your own. Every step up is practice for climbing stairs confidently. Every repetition is a vote for your future independence. Remember this. The goal isn't to become stronger than someone else. It's to stay strong enough to keep living life on your own terms. Because every bit of strength you build today becomes freedom tomorrow. 3. They fuel their bodies differently. You cannot build a strong body with weak nutrition. It sounds simple, but this truth changes everything. Many people spend years worrying about what shows up in the mirror: wrinkles, gray hair, or weight gain, while ignoring what is happening deep inside their bodies. Because aging doesn't just change how you look, it changes what your body needs. And one of the biggest mistakes many older adults make is assuming they can keep eating the same way they did decades ago. They skip meals. They eat whatever is convenient. They rely on processed foods. They drink too little water. And without realizing it, they slowly starve the very muscles they need to stay independent. The frightening part is that poor nutrition doesn't always cause immediate problems. Its effects arrive quietly. A little less energy, a little more fatigue, a little more weakness, until one day, carrying groceries feels exhausting. Walking across a parking lot feels overwhelming. Getting up from a chair requires effort, and they wonder, when did I become so weak? The answer is often hidden in thousands of small choices made over many years. Because every cell in your body is constantly rebuilding itself, and it can only rebuild with the materials you provide. Think of your body like a house that needs daily repairs. If you stop delivering the supplies, the structure slowly begins to weaken. The walls don't collapse overnight, but eventually, cracks begin to appear. That's exactly what happens when your body doesn't get enough protein, vitamins, minerals, and water. The older adults who move with strength and confidence understand something many people learn too late. Food is not just fuel. Food is information. Every meal sends instructions to the body. Some foods tell your body, protect muscle, support energy, maintain strength. Others silently encourage inflammation, fatigue, and decline. That's why active older adults tend to nourish themselves intentionally. They prioritize protein because muscles cannot repair themselves without it. They eat colorful fruits and vegetables because every nutrient supports a different part of the body. They stay hydrated because even mild dehydration can cause weakness, dizziness, and confusion. They don't chase miracle diets. They focus on consistency because they know that what they eat today determines how they move tomorrow. Imagine sitting at the dinner table with your grandchildren years from now. Imagine having the energy to play with them, travel with them, and create memories they'll never forget. Now, imagine missing those moments because your body no longer has the strength to keep up. That future is shaped meal by meal, bita by bita, glass by glass. Every time you nourish your body, you're not just feeding hunger, you're investing in your independence. Because the food on your plate today becomes the strength in your body tomorrow. 4. They challenge their balance every day. For many older adults, it doesn't start with a fall. It starts with the fear of one. The fear appears quietly, after a small stumble on the stairs, after losing footing on a wet sidewalk, after hearing about a friend who broke a hip. Suddenly, every step feels uncertain. Every uneven surface feels dangerous. Every trip outside the house requires more thought than it used to. And little by little, fear begins to change behavior. They stop taking walks. They avoid crowded places. They skip family outings. They hold tightly to furniture as they move around the house. What began as a desire to stay safe slowly becomes a prison. Because here's the painful irony. The less you move because you're afraid of falling, the more likely you are to fall. Balance is not something you either have or don't have. Balance is a skill. And like every skill, it weakens when ignored and improves when practiced. The older adults who continue moving with confidence understand this truth. They don't wait until their balance declines to work on it. They challenge it gently, consistently, every single day. They stand on one foot while holding the kitchen counter. They practice gentle yoga or Tai Chi. They improve their posture. They walk on different surfaces with care. They give their bodies small challenges that keep the connection between the brain and muscles strong. Because balance isn't just about your legs. It's about communication. Your eyes, ears, brain, nerves, and muscles are constantly working together to keep you upright. The more you practice, the stronger that connection becomes. And every time you successfully catch yourself after a small misstep, your body learns an important lesson. I can still do this. That's where confidence comes from. Not from avoiding challenges, but from facing them. Think about what a fall can take away. Not just physical health, but freedom. After one serious fall, many older adults stop driving. They stop traveling. They stop living the life they once loved. Not because they can't, but because they're afraid. That's why protecting your balance isn't just about preventing injury. It's about protecting your independence, your confidence, your ability to keep saying yes to life. Because movement isn't only about muscles. It's about trusting your body. And that trust is built one small challenge at a time. 5. They stay socially connected. When we think about staying active as we age, we usually think about exercise, walking, stretching, strength training. But there's another force that keeps people moving, one that's often overlooked. It's connection, because mobility isn't just physical, it's deeply emotional. Think about the older adults who seem full of energy, the ones who continue to move with purpose and enthusiasm. Look closely, and you'll often notice something they have in common. They have people in their lives, friends to call, family to visit, neighbors to talk to, a weekly gathering they look forward to, a grandchild waiting to hear their stories. They have reasons to get dressed in the morning, reasons to leave the house, reasons to keep going, because purpose creates movement. When you know someone is expecting you, you're more likely to take that walk. When you have plans with a friend, you're more willing to climb those stairs. When you feel needed, your body often finds the energy to keep moving. Now, think about the opposite. Loneliness doesn't usually arrive all at once. It slips in quietly. A spouse passes away. Children move far from home. Friends become busy or move away. Phone calls become less frequent. Days become quieter. And eventually, entire weeks can pass without meaningful conversation. When that happens, something deeper than sadness begins to take hold. Motivation fade. The desire to move disappears. After all, if there's nowhere to go and no one to see, why bother? Little by little, the body slows down because the mind has fewer reasons to keep going. And that's why isolation can be so dangerous, not just for emotional health, but for physical health too. Because a lonely person isn't just missing company. They're missing opportunities to laugh, walk, explore, and engage with the world. Never underestimate the power of community. Sometimes, the best exercise program isn't found in a gym. It's a weekly coffee with a friend, a neighborhood walking group, a visit with family, a phone call that turns into a reason to leave the house. Because every meaningful connection gives us something priceless, a reason to keep moving. And in the end, staying strong isn't only about adding years to your life. It's about filling those years with people, memories, and moments worth getting up for. 6. They believe aging doesn't mean giving up. If you really look closely at people who age well versus those who struggle, the difference is not always in their body. It starts much earlier. It starts in the mind, because long before the legs become weak, before the stairs feel harder, before the chair becomes difficult to rise from, something else quietly changes. A belief forms. Many people begin to accept an invisible sentence without ever questioning it. This is just what aging looks like. A little pain here is normal. A little weakness there is expected. Less movement, less energy, less independence. All of it slowly accepted as unavoidable. And once a person truly believes that story, something powerful begins to break inside them, not suddenly, but gradually. They stop challenging themselves. They stop trying new movements. They stop expecting improvement. And without realizing it, they begin living smaller lives, not because their body demanded it, but because their mind agreed to it. But then there is another group, and they are not necessarily stronger at first. They are not immune to pain or aging. They feel the same stiffness, the same tiredness, the same challenges. The difference is simple but powerful. They refuse to surrender. They don't deny aging, but they don't worship it either. They understand something most people forget. Getting older is natural, but becoming helpless is not a requirement. So when their body struggles, they adapt instead of giving up. When movement becomes harder, they adjust instead of quitting. When something feels difficult, they practice instead of avoiding it. They learn new ways to move, new ways to stay active, new ways to keep their independence alive. And slowly, that mindset becomes their greatest strength, because the body follows belief more than we realize. Think about it. The moment someone believes, "I can't do this anymore," their effort drops before their muscles even fail. But the moment someone believes, "I may be slower, but I am still capable," something different happens. They try again, they move again, they improve again. And that small shift in thinking changes everything that follows. Because decline doesn't always begin in the joints or bones. Sometimes it begins in resignation, the quiet decision to stop trying. And once that decision is made, the body simply follows. That's why the strongest older adults are not always the ones with perfect health. They are the ones with the strongest refusal to give up on themselves. They don't say, "It's too late." They say, "I will adjust." They don't say, "I can't do what I used to." They say, "I will find a new way." And that mindset becomes the difference between a life that shrinks and a life that continues to expand, even with age. Because in the end, aging is not just something that happens to the body. It is something shaped every single day by what you believe is still possible. As we conclude, remember this: the difference between an older adult who moves with freedom and one who struggles isn't usually one dramatic event. It's thousands of small decisions repeated consistently over time. Move your body, protect your strength, eat to nourish yourself, practice balance, stay connected, and never believe that aging means giving up. Your future mobility isn't decided by your birthday. It's decided by your daily habits, No matter how old you are today, the best time to start protecting your independence is now. Which of these 6 habits do you think makes the biggest difference? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about, because helping someone stay active might be one of the greatest gifts you can give them. And remember, the goal isn't just to live longer, it's to keep living fully.